For your safety, please ensure you read the full disclaimer located in the description below before you start this virtual workout. Welcome everyone. My name is Jordan Guillen and I'm the PSP, Fitness and Sports Coordinator out of London, Ontario, supporting Southwestern Ontario. I'd like to welcome you to another total body circuit. But before I get into the details of the workout, I'd just like to remind everybody to like us on Facebook, so that's PSP Southwestern Ontario, and be sure to visit us at the CF Morale and Welfare Services YouTube page. Subscribe and follow us for more workouts like this. In today's session, we're going to focus on a series of muscular and cardiovascular exercises which will target the total body. We're going to move between a cardio, followed by a muscular, followed by a cardio, followed by another muscular, so in a series of 4. The cardio focus is going to be to keep the heart rate elevated throughout the duration of the workout. And what I'm going to do as well is limit the amount of overall rest between each of those set exercises. And what that's going to do is help us maintain an elevated heart rate throughout the duration of the session. If you need to, you can certainly modify. So now I'm going to go through the exercises and then the equipment that's going to be needed. So before we get started, I'm just going to quickly review what you need for equipment today. So for the cardiovascular portion, you can get through this workout without any equipment. I'm going to use a skipping rope because I have this available to me, but I am going to provide you with options, and I'm going to do that throughout the session. As it relates to my resistance, I'm going to be using a kettlebell, which is around 30 pounds. For the muscular, we're going to be working for 20 seconds, but remember, there's overall limited rest, so choose your weight accordingly. To replace a kettlebell, because we may all not have that at home, just choose something similar for resistance that you may have at home. So ideal something with a handle or something that you could hold on to with a single hand, something like a laundry bottle or some other modification. We're now going to go through the exercises themselves before we get started. First exercise that we're going to focus on is skipping, and this can be done on the spot. It can be done also without a rope. It can be a single, it could be a double leg, and you can make modifications. If you don't have a rope, you can simply move to the side, or you can do any kind of alternate aerobic type activity to help elevate the heart rate. Second movement we're going to do is going to be a squat. And we can do this either with or without resistance. Feet are hip width, shoulder width apart, chest is up, and we squat down and we come back up. So we just want to make sure that when we do come up to the top position, we don't completely lock out in the knees so that we can keep some resistance. Next movement is going to be either a burpee or it's going to be a step up, step down. So I'm going to start off with the easier version first. So what we're going to do is we're going to step down, step back, step in, step up. And we would basically just continue within this motion. The burpee is going to be an up down. It's going to be a more advanced movement. So from here, we're going to start off with a small jump. We're going to come down, jump back up, and then back up to the top. Next movement is going to be a kettlebell swing, or you may have a laundry bottle at home. So we're going to start off with the weight in front of the body. We're going to sit back, and we're going to use our hips to help drive us forward. That's going to be the first series of exercises. The second series is once again going to be skipping or some form of aerobic movement. We're then going to move into a plank with a row. And if you don't have the resistance, that's fine. So we start off in the upper plank position, try to stay neutral throughout. And we're going to try to control our core as we elevate to the side of the body. Next movement is going to be the burpee again. And then finally, we're going to focus on a push-up. And I'm just going to use this for depth. So I'm going to come down until my chest touches. And then I'm going to come back into that upper position. And what that's going to do is it's going to ensure that I don't go lower than a 90-degree angle with my arm positioning. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to warm up the body. We're going to loosen up. We're going to get ready. I'm a little tight today myself. Maybe you are too. So I definitely want to get the blood flowing to get adequately ready for today's workout. So let's just start off just by moving on the spot. I'm just going to move back and forth. And you can move on the spot if you choose to, or you can do as I do. So just moving back and forth. Let's loosen up as we do so. So we just want to get some movement going through the shoulders initially. So we're going to do that in the form of some shoulder rolls in a negative or a rear direction. And we're just going to now switch that direction. So let's just get some movement here. Let's kind of try to force some blood flow. Get ready for the workout itself. So just focusing on that movement in that forward direction. And let's just focus on some arm circles. So we'll extend now. We're just going to focus on the palms down. And we're going to start off with the circles nice and small. And I'm still moving forward and back. You know, if you want to just kind of move side to side, that works as well. And let's just open up a little bit. We'll slow down our motion as we do so. And then we'll just open them up all the way here. So let's just go back. Let's go palms up. Let's just go in a rear direction. We're going to start off with those shoulder rolls small. And let's just open it up a little bit. And then let's just open up all the way up. So nice and wide, opening up through the chest as we bring the arms back. Let's just bring the arms now across the chest. So I'm just switching above and below between the right and the left arm as I'm still getting some movement in through the lower body. And now I'm just going to move from the front position up overhead. So I'm just swaying my arms, using a little bit of momentum, and then just getting that blood flowing. All right, so we're going to hold up on the upper body for now. Just shake it out. Let's just focus on getting that lower body movement going. So we're going to focus on bringing the heel up in towards the glutes. Once again, just getting some movement going here. Try to loosen everything up before we start to increase the heart rate. Let's focus on bringing some knees up. So we're just going to bring them up in front of the body. Staying nice and tall through our upper body. Not too much intensity here. Heart rate should still be relatively low. And then from here, let's just take a bit of a wider stance. And what we're going to do is we're just going to squat down to one side of the body. So we're trying to sit back at the hips while we keep our chest nice and tall. So you'll feel a little bit of stretch on the inner side of the thigh. Just do a couple more. And then from here, let's just stand it up, shake it out. Let's focus on going into a squat. So feet are about hip width, shoulder width apart. Chest is up. We're sitting back into it. You can always change your range of motion if you choose to. We're just going to do a few here on the spot. All right, so for now, we're going to come down into a push-up type position. Now let's just focus on just moving down into a push-up. Now we can also do this from the knees. So we want to try to retract. So bringing our shoulder blades together, ensuring that we're pushing in through the chest. Let's hold this upper position here. Let's go a little bit wider with our feet. Let's move our one hand a little bit more into the center. And let's just focus on kind of raising one arm. Staying nice and stiff through the body, making sure we're even on each side. Let's stand it back up. And we're getting a little bit looser, but let's get the blood flowing a little bit more. So let's just focus on kind of some movement on the spot. So we are going to do some skipping today. Just remember that as we bounce, You want to focus on coiling, so we're not lifting straight-legged, but you can jog on the spot. You can also focus on elevating your knees. We can focus on doing a jumping jack or a modified version. And let's just focus on walking that out for a moment. And now we're going to focus on moving up and down. So remember that option from the beginning. So we're going to focus on coming down, stepping back, stepping in. I like to move my hand, and then back up. So let's just do that a couple of times. And let's make sure we switch the legs. One more. And then let's go into a burpee. If you're not comfortable with the burpee, just stay with the same movement that we've just done. So we're going to focus on coming down, jumping out, coming down, and then back up a little bit to jump at the top. All right, let's take a breather. Heart rate should be elevated now. We're going to get started in a moment. Get started. So we're going to do our first exercise. I'm starting off with skipping. So just remember that bend in the knee. If you want to switch up the movement, we're just doing this to get the heart rate elevated. 10 seconds in between. Next exercise is going to be a squat. So I'm going to hold it out front here for some resistance. Nice and controlled, chest is out. No rounding at the back. Driving from the hips. So up through the heel, up through the glutes. Setting that weight down. Moving into the step up, step down. Or the burpee. Into the swing. And recovery. So let's take a moment here, catch our breath. We'll let this run. So heart rate's certainly going to be elevated. Let's catch our breath. We're going to repeat. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started again. So we're moving back into skipping, but now we're moving into the row with the plank. So for me, let's get back into the skipping. And keep that heart rate elevated. Bending at the knee, twirling up. Okay, so now we're into the plank with the row, or you're just going to elevate your hand. So let's come into that position. Wider stance is going to allow me to keep better support. I'm going to do 4 on one side, and then I'm going to switch to the other, trying to keep it even. All right, into the burpee. Catch your breath into the push-up. Catch your breath. Just going to pause this again. So my heart rate's only 5 more beats elevated than it was when we went into that second round. But as you can see, I'm definitely breathing heavy. Let's take this time to rest, to recover. That's 1 full sequence through. We're going to do 2 more. Move around, grab a drink. The duration of the workout isn't going to be overly extended, but that's because the intensity is going to be relatively high. Let's move it around. And let's get it started again. So get back into position. We're starting off with skipping. Switch it up if you like. Squat. With or without resistance. Burpee. Or up, down. We'll do the up, down to start. Switching from side to side. And then into the swing. Switching sides, keeping it even. Rest. So take a breather. Walk it out. Heart rate's still in the same range as it was when we started that set. So even though we're building in the rest, heart rate's not really coming down. Just speaks to the intensity of the session. Modify, taking extra rest as we need it. We're halfway through the workout at this point, and we're 10 minutes in. So we're going to finish kind of in and around, most likely, 22 to 24 minutes. We factor in the rest. So we're going to get ready. We're going to get started again. So we're into the second half of that second round. And let's go ahead. So we're starting almost right away. Great job at home. Let's keep it up. Okay, plank position, high row. You can do about 4 on a side. Switch. All right, we're moving into the burpee. Let's get ready. Into the push-up. All right, back into rest. So that's 2 full rounds complete. We got 1 round to go. Heart rate's still in the same spot. So for me, it's just staying elevated at this point. So just for reference, I think my heart rate's been between 160 and 170 pretty well throughout the duration of the session. Just below 170 right now. We have 1 more round to go. So we're back into skipping or modified movement on the spot. We're just past 13 minutes into the workout. So getting ready for skipping. Last round, let's keep it up. Well done. Squat. Breathing in and then out on the way up. Keeping everything nice and controlled. Drive from the heels through the glutes. Into the step down or the burpee. Into the swing. Rest. One more session. One more segment. Heart rate's flying after that one. Definitely went above the 170 mark. We're almost there. More rest when you need it. Last segment. We're going to start at 17 minutes in. So we'll finish this just after 20 minutes. So back into skipping. Let's hang in there, we're almost there. Let's get started. All right, plank with the row. All right, last round of the burpee. See if I can get 6 in again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push up, last movement. All right, let's walk it out, cool it down. Well done, guys. Let's catch our breath. Definitely a challenging circuit. Finishing heart rate 172. Let's walk it out. Let's get that heart rate to come back down. total workout was in and around 20 minutes, just under. I'm going to let the clock run here because I want you guys to start to cool down with me. Gradually bring that heart rate down. So you want to keep moving. Focus on your breathing. So we finished that workout about 1.5 minutes ago, just a little bit more. So coming up on 2 minutes. Heart rate should be starting to come down. Mine's down about 25 beats, but it's obviously still in an upper range. So as we're moving here on the spot, let's just take the opportunity to stretch out the upper body. Just bring one arm across the chest. Keep those feet moving. Switch arms. Just going to move side to side as I move back and forward. Let's focus on reaching out front. So hopefully you guys are feeling okay at home. Just keep moving around, try to catch your breath. If you're feeling a little bit nauseous at all, it just might be that you pushed beyond your current limitations. Monitor how you're feeling. You should be feeling better as time goes by, not worse. Let's come to the back now. So depress your shoulders, which means pushing them down in towards the ground as you bring your chest out. Elbows, you're trying to push them behind the body, forcing a stretch in your chest. So across the front of your upper body. And as our heart rates are still coming down, let's focus on moving into a tricep stretch. So let's keep your head forward, chin up off your chest. Still moving here side to side. Getting a good stretch to the back of that upper arm. Let's switch to the other side. Keep walking it out. And let's just relax that upper body and kind of loosen it out. So heart rate's coming down, but it's still elevated above where I would like it to be. Might be the same with you at the current moment. So let's just focus on stay standing, but let's bring one leg forward and let's just sit back into it. So chest is up, shoulders are back. And we're sitting back into the stretch, stretching out the back of the extended leg. So heel is down, toe is up, body is straight forward. Let's switch sides. Stay nice and straight. Sit back into it to deepen and to enhance that stretch. And let's bring it up. Just loosen it out for a moment. Deep breaths. Heart rate's still trying to make its way down, so let's do that one again. So let's just focus on extending that leg, sitting back into the stretch. I'd rather not come down to a resting position until our heart rates have come down a little bit further. Let's switch legs. Same stretch. Let's move into a double up stretch. So we'll stretch the calf at the same time as we repeat that back stretch. So our back heel is down into the ground and we're extending forward. We're staying nice and tall, but we're spreading our upper back. So getting a stretch through the calf as well as into the upper back. Let's switch sides, but this time let's stretch out the chest. And let's bring it back up. So from here, let's do a quad stretch. If you want to use the wall for support, you certainly can. We're just going to elevate one leg. Try to bring in your heel towards your glutes. Push your hips forward. We're just going to hold this position here. Stretch in the front of that bent leg. Stay nice and tall. It helps if you find a balance point to focus on. So choose a point, choose an object, just focus on it. So from here, let's just come down into a kneeling position, 1 foot forward, back leg on a slight angle. So we're just kind of pushing the hips forward and up from this position. And then let's switch. Nice and tall again. Slight angle in the back leg, tilting those hips forward and up. Let's keep focusing forward. Let's do each side one more time here. So watch your front knee, but as long as your heel is into the ground, there's no real concern there. And let's switch back to the other side. And let's come down to a seated position. Let's take one leg, let's hug it in. So we're just pulling that knee in towards our body. Hopefully you guys are feeling okay at home. Switch to the other leg. And I'm going to wrap it up after this stretch here. But I would recommend that you continue your stretching if your heart rate is still significantly elevated. I do want to thank everybody for their participation today. If you're watching this on Facebook, I'd recommend that you like our page and subscribe.